we live in Africa. We're blessed. If we can return to a rural tribal setup where we live together as communities, we would all have enough.
Yeah.
We would never want for anything. You would have a lot of time free. You would have a lot of space to live in. You would have a lot of time to spend with other people and do things that make you really happy. But to suddenly tell everybody in the Western world that we're going to move back into mud huts, people are going to go, no ways, man. This is how it should be. This is evolution. This is progress. But it's unfortunately failing us a little bit, and we need to find different ways. So I'm not necessarily saying we all have to leave the city, but what I'm saying is we can start changing little pockets in the cities. And using them as kind of like experiments.
Yes.
And we'll find people that are really suited to that kind of thing, who will then boldly go and set up little villages like these outside of our cities, and then we can further go out into southern Africa and go and reclaim the breadbasket of the world. And do this, take technology with us, take medical science with us. Again, there's lots of people that have lots of ideas around this. There's lots of good things that we can take with us out into Africa and go and have a much simpler, better living
quality of
quality of life.
Well, you know what, Sheriff, something that you pinpointed on, which I think is incredibly accurate and is probably the most profound point you've made in all of our conversations. That being, when you said it's all very well to identify a template that can work. How do you get people to give up their touch a button of convenience, luxury lifestyle, to agree to do that? Now, there is a way that has been investigated into through the entirety of a certain gentleman's lifespan. He's unfortunately dead now, but it's something that I think that his name is Jacques Fresco. Okay, he is I think he's an electrical engineer and an architect, and in the 1950s he started something called the Venus Project. So in the 1950s he already forecasted everything that was going to be happening by the early 2000s in terms of what he forecasted was this: we live in a planet where there are more arable resources than you can possibly imagine. There's enough food and shit on this planet to feed a billion times extra people plus. Scarcity creation is what makes people think that, ooh, they have to live behind these walls. Now, the Venus Project, basically what he did is he redesigned cities using just technology, okay? Mm-hmm. But what he did is he took money out of the system, advertising out of the system, and consumerism out of the system. Mm-hmm. So in his projected worldview, everybody lives in a luxurious house. Every single child can go to a school where they get world-class education, and it's free, but the teachers don't work there for money. The teachers work there for free. And when the parents come to collect their kids in a car, that car they got for free from the community, and it's run purely off hemp fuel. And then they go to the farmer's market to buy all their food for the evening, and they get it for free, but they know that guy selling the tomatoes to them is going to come, and they know that they're going to teach that farmer's kid how to play piano tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so you did it. Okay. So the best part of the whole thing that he came up with, which is stuff that you've talked to me about a lot, is in his projected city outlook. Every single city is divided into zones. So it's small communities, it's small villages.
Yeah,
okay.
You need that personal thingy, because it's because our communities lost their personal touch. You have somebody sitting in an office making a decision over people that aren't personal, that aren't real. It's not a face he knows or a name he knows or an auntie that he greets every morning when he walks past her. So we've got to bring that, make our communities tighter so that it's got that connection pockets. Again.
Small pockets.
But
Nailed
healthy pockets.
So each healthy pocket has a school, a university, a swimming pool, a gymnasium, and this and that, and the next thing. But here's where it gets really interesting, okay?
We're speaking about healthy pockets, and because this is a slightly unhealthy pocket, I'm just going to turn around so that I can see people moving into our periphery. At the moment, like walking in from behind us, and I only see them when they're going past us because my mirrors aren't big enough.
Gosh darn it, and you know, and if we lived in Jacques Fresco's world, we could have access to mirrors of any size. Now, in Jacques Fresco's projected worldview, do you know that he foresaw an idea that you already told me about? Mm-hmm. So you might be channeling in on his fucking like soul or some shit, man, because you once said to me at your house, I'll never forget this, you said, we need to have these little tiny pocket communities, right, where there must be one central center. Okay, so you got all your beautiful homes where people are taking care of each other's kids, everybody's growing their own food, blah, blah, blah. It's all very well. But every village or every little zone, let's call them zones, has to have one central center. This center he calls the Library of Knowledge. And it's literally, it's a community center that has every musical instrument known to man. It has every book known to man. It has any technological device known to man, sporting equipment known to man, anything you can imagine.
Or at least access to the interface with these things, because it's going to be kind of hard to keep every musical instrument in every village.
Oh yeah.
You can have in a cluster of village, because also this stimulates people moving. You can have a cluster of villages that will combine in certain ways, because it's also, you know, it's never just one village. It's a village that's part of
it's all part of like a spider web.
Because a person in isolation is not a good idea, as much as a village in isolation is not a good idea either.
Nailed it. So there's a lot of swapping and changing.
As above, so below, and part of a bigger setup, and focusing on the smaller needs and the smaller parameters of each individual area.
Exactly. Yeah. But imagine a city zone center where if you wake up one morning and go, you know what, I want to learn how to play the harp. You walk into that center